Hi, it's David McLean with Living in the GTA, the channel where we look at everything related to real estate in Toronto and the GTA area. Now, we're in the middle of February. Everyone's asking what's going on with the market and what's going to happen this spring. It's like the big question mark. Well, what I see happening is, you know that moment when a wave kind of crashes and there's a lot of froth and activity, and then it kind of softens, evens out a little bit, and you're sort of sitting there waiting. What's next? There's something coming. Absolutely, and that's what we're going to look at in this video today. Okay, so number statistics, stats can be probably as boring as toast when we're talking about real estate, but they do tell a story. So let's sort of jump in and take a quick look at that. Sales year over year have actually gone up from this time last year. Incredibly, we're seeing a 37% jump in sales activity. So we're definitely sort of out of what people were seeing as certainly experiencing as a slump as we were in the latter part of last year and hovering into just the beginning of the new year. Suddenly we're seeing activity. There's interest. Buyers are coming off the sidelines. But in terms of the selection that buyers are going to have to choose from, while we did see a jump from January of last year, it doesn't match the amount of sales activity that we're seeing. So that means a tightening of the market. So 9,300 active listings January 23. So we're seeing an increase of 8.5% in active listings from this time last year to 10,093 listings January 24. So again, a bit of tightening in terms of months of inventory. And again, a recap of what months of inventory is the amount of months of time that would have to go by for all a certain type of property listings to sell completely. Interestingly, the average price of a condo year over year from January 2023 till now, there's almost been like almost a straight line. So prices haven't actually dipped maybe as much as people were hoping. This time last year, the average price was $711,000 and change for the average condo in the city. Now it's down a little bit to about $709 and change. So that's not a huge dip. And odds are, where are we going to go? Where does Toronto tend to go? I know, don't shoot the messenger, but probably we're going to start to see prices inching back up again. So I think what we're going to see in the spring, though, is because we're actually seeing some of it now, is bidding wars. There's actually been some competition, now more on freehold housing, but we're seeing condos sell a little faster. We're seeing more sales activity. So I think we're building up. That wave is building up. New listings are up about 6.1%. So there's more inventory available than there was before at this time last year, but price, it's not jumped that significantly. And in fact, it's down about 1%. So it's a kind of a little bit of mixed messaging that's going on right now. But a couple of things I think are very clear. There is pent up interest. People have been sitting on the sidelines waiting for a while. They want to come back into the market. And as most people know by now, the last time the Bank of Canada met, they held their overnight rate at 5%. And it seems that all consensus is that rates are not going to rise, but the question is, when are they going to go down? The point I'd like to really make here is that there's a lot of people who sit on the sidelines waiting. Let's wait and see what happens. Well, who knows? Maybe prices are going to really go down. I think if you're waiting for that point, you probably are at that moment now, if it's not in fact past a little bit. All signs are pointing to an increased spring market where there's a lot of pent-up demand. A lot of people are saying, hey, rates are not going to go back up. Maybe prices will, so let's get out there and get into the market. And after being in the business now for about 17 years, what I have seen is that things can change on a dime. So the market can go for a few weeks and be a different market. So my point is, if you're thinking or have been thinking about buying this spring, now more than ever, like now as in maybe yesterday, is a time when you have to start to really put your plan in place. What are you pre-qualified to buy? Have you been pre-qualified? Have you spoken to a mortgage banker? Have you talked to an agent? Have you decided what your budget is, where you want to live, what areas of the city? Do you have a plan in place? So I think that because if you wait for April, May, things are going to be so active, it can very quickly become overwhelming to try and jump in when you haven't really planned in advance. So don't hesitate to give me a call or send me an email. We can set up a time to talk. because more than ever, the more you're prepared, the more you're aware of the market conditions, the more you're educated, the happier you're going to be with the whole process moving forward to finding your ideal property purchase here in the GTA real estate market.